channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome, I'm Lisette, and guys, as you have seen in the thumbnail, today I'm introducing a new series on my channel for your leftover drills. We all have a lot of leftovers each time we finish a diamond painting, and well, some of us store them neatly in boxes and they've got a spare drill system like this. Everything in there by DMC code, and I saved them because I wanted to do a diamond painting canvas with my leftover drills, which I did, so I'll put a link to that in the eye and in the description box below. It turned out beautiful, but it was so much work, and even though I had finished for a couple of years of diamond paintings and I had a lot of spare drills, I still wasn't able to do that diamond painting with the spare drills that I had. I needed to mix and match the ones that I had with all kinds of DMC codes. It was a hassle. It was fun to do for one time. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to save my drills like this anymore. So this system I'm not using anymore. In 2024, I did this with my leftover drills. So each time I finished a diamond painting, I made a layer. So you see the different layers, so I made sure that they stayed in a layer. And this way I can see, I know which diamond paintings these are because I recognize the color patterns. So this is what I did in 2024. I even bought the same one for 2025. But I couldn't keep all my drills in here because I had more spare drills than fitted in one of those cylinders. Then you're like, okay, get another cylinder, but I didn't want to do that. So I kept thinking, what can I do differently with my leftover drills? Then I had a couple of ideas because I'm sure you've seen fellow creators, like for instance Katie from Diamonds and Washi, do those temperature diamond paintings or temperature blankets. It's a crossover from the cross stitch community, because in cross stitching they do temperature projects, and well, you can do it as a cross stitch conversion version with your diamond painting drills. Mostly though, it's not done with leftover drills but with newly bought drills. But it got me thinking. Then I saw Mindy of Mindy's Diamond Moment. Well, you've seen me mentioning her multiple times on my channel, but Mindy, as do a lot of other fellow creators, does a lot of cross stitching as well. And she was telling about her goals for 2025. And she mentioned granny squares. I'm not a cross stitcher, so I don't know what everything was, but granny squares, I even got a book about it. It's those little squares, and when you put them all together you can make like a quilt or a blanket. And you've got 1,000 different patterns and certain ones have meanings. I know nothing about granny squares, guys, because I'm not a cross stitcher or a crocheter, sorry, a crocheter. But that got me thinking, like, maybe I can do something with that. Then she started talking about that within the crochet or cross stitch community, there are people who do like granny squares, but the colors that they use is from books that they read. So they read a book and then they look at the cover of the book or certain images within the book, and they pick colors that correspond with that. Then they make a granny square with that, so that reminds them of a certain book. And then I thought, I got it. I'm going to make squares like granny squares, but then for diamond painting, and I'm going to use my leftover drills because a granny square is like 10 by 10 centimeters, so or at least that's what I'm going to use for measurements. And you can use your leftover drills because, well, 10 by 10 is really easily filled up. You don't need a lot of spare drills. And I'm going to use the colors that, well, signify the diamond painting that I've been working on most. And I'm just going to make a granny square with those. Easier said than done. So I got this to just see what it was all about. Then I saw the patterns that were in here, like this for instance, and this. But the patterns, you can't just take them one by one because you work with pixels for a diamond painting. So first of all, what I needed was a blank canvas. I still had one. I had one that I ordered from Evermoment years ago. If you go back on my channel, I will put a link down below, but it's about what kind of blank canvases you can order. Look, it's just a normal blank canvas. What I did is I cut out a fragment of it and I made. This was my first attempt, and then I did this. I didn't like the color, so I changed them in this. So I just made a grid kind of thing in PicMonkey, or you can use Canva or Excel, whatever you want. You just need 10 by 10 squares, so 4, 10, 40 that way and 40 that way. Okay, and just what I meant was not a 10 by 10 centimeters, but one square is 10 of the pixels and then 10 down. So you need 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So you get a square, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And, well, I just looked. Let me give the example. The example is this one. This is the diamond painting, Marianne's Winter Hideaway. I have a full review of this on my channel. A full review is where I do the unboxing, the progress and the finish in one video. So that one's on my channel. But look at the colors that are in here. And this is what I made. Okay, so I had lots of leftover drills. And I just picked the colors that I thought were best suited to work with. And it came down to this color palette. So what I did was, if you look here, the gray and this light salmony colors is this. The yellow is this one, light yellow. Then the dark brown is this one. The lighter brown is this one. These are the 2 purples. That's these 2 colors. And then some white ABs are those little dots in the middle. So that's the color pattern I chose. So I'm going to make a granny square. I call this a granny square because, well, that's where the idea came from. With the colors that, well, for me, signify the diamond painting that I'm working on. I'm using the leftover drills that I have of the diamond painting. I put a washi tape around it. And I've got a 10 by 10 square. And I'm planning to do this for all the square diamond paintings that I finished this year. And will they all have the same pattern? No, because I think it's a sport to do a different pattern for every single one. As said, I'm not a crocheter, I'm not a cross stitcher, so you won't find very technical, intelligent patterns, but I'm doing the best I can and I'm having fun. So I just thought it would be nice to show you guys. Maybe you like to try this for yourself, but I'm just going to take you along for the ride, and at the end of the year I hope to have a collection of these that I can put next to each other and make a nice photo or blanket of. I first thought of leaving them on the blank canvas and just put them all together at once, but I like to have them individually. And what I'm doing on the other side, guys, is with the older ones you can put the sticker, or maybe just with a paper clip if you don't want to use the actual sticker, so that you know from which one it is. Well, for me it will be it will be really logical to know which one is which, because it's not like I do hundreds of diamond paintings in a year. These take quite some time to produce if you're not used to drawing these kinds of things. And also it's fun to figure out which colors you want to use. I really wanted to use the purples and the light gray and yellow. I think this is the color pattern that goes with this diamond painting. I really love the way it turned out. So each time I have finished one or two diamond paintings and I've done a full review of them, I will do a granny square from my leftover drills, and I will take you guys along for the ride. So I'm planning on doing different kind of patterns, and of course you've got different color patterns, and at the end of the year I'll have a nice collage. I'm not planning on putting them together at the end, that's not my idea, but you could, if you got a blank canvas, you could just leave it like that and put them next to each other and not put washi tape in between, but that's just personal preference. I like them as like sort of minis to set apart. Also, the only thing is I'm only going to do this for my square diamond paintings. I mostly work on squares, so for me that isn't a problem. But if you want to do this with rounds, you've got a white background, so you need to, well, this is a square. I do believe that these blank canvases exist also for round drills, but you've got a white background, so that doesn't look as good. And yes, you can, with mica powder and things like that, you can do, probably can do all kinds of things that I don't know nothing about, so please don't come for me. And I'm just showing you what I'm going to do, and maybe give you some inspiration to take on a project like this for yourself, or just give it a go, or well, use it as inspiration to create your own project. I just think it's funny because, well, I was listening to Mindy, she was talking about something totally different and it came together in my head, and well, it ended up with this. So I'm really happy with my first leftover drill granny square. I don't know if I'm allowed to call it a granny square because it really isn't a granny square, but that was just the name that was most logical. So leftover drill square. Should we call it that? Leftover drill square? Spare drill square? Maybe we should get a catchy name. If you've got any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like this, if you think this is fun, if this is a good idea. Would you like to try it for yourself? Well, let me know, guys. I'm just trying something here, being a little bit creative and just enjoying myself. Okay guys, I hope you give me a thumbs up on your way out, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!